सिन्दूरारुणविग्रहा त्रिनयना माणिक्यमौली स्फुरत् तारानायकशेखरा स्मितमुखी मामीनवक्षोरुहा पाणिभ्यामलिपूर्णरत्नचषकम् रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम् सान्निपातिकज्वर सततज्वर विषमज्वर ग्रह नक्षत्र दोषाञ्चान्या हर हर काली सर सर गौरी गम विद्ये आले माले काले बन्धे भज भज विद्ये मख मख विद्ये नाशय नाशय पापम् हर हर दुःस्वप्नम् विध्वंसय विध्वंसय विघ्नविनाशिनि रजनी सन्ध्ये मुन्दुभिनादे मानस्तोषे मानसवेगे शङ्खिनी चक्रिणी वज्रिणी गदिनी शूलिनी अपमृत्युविनाशिनी विश्वेश्वरी द्राविडी केशवदैते पशुपति सहिते धीममर्दिनि गमनी कामिनी शबरी विराटी वाचक्री ॐ द्रं 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 ॐ द्रं गुरु गुरु
Namaste and a very warm welcome to each one of you present on this evening's show. You have been along with us for the last 17 days of this global festival of yoga. We've brought you several gems from the world of yoga, the researchers, artists, practitioners. Today's session is a very, very special one as we are bringing before you a doyen of Indian classical music from the style called Dhrupad. So we have with us Padma Shri Umakant Gundecha ji, and with him in conversation we have Srimati Tarakini with us. So I request both of them to come on their screens. This evening session is going to be a very special tribute to the late Padma Shri Ramakant Gundecha ji. Ramakant Gundecha ji very sadly left us in November last year. But Umakant Gundecha ji and Ramakant Gundecha ji have been leading exponents of the Dhrupad style of music. They are among the most active performers in India and in international circuits. For their contribution to the field of Dhrupad and Indian classical music, they were conferred the Padma Shri in 2012 and the Sangeet Natak Academy Award in 2017 by the Government of India. Born in Ujjain in central India, the brothers were initiated into music by their parents. The Gundecha brothers received conventional university education and learnt the Dhrupad vocal art under the renowned Dhrupad vocalist Ustad Zia Faruddin Dagar and also with Ustad Zia Moiddin Dagar, the distinguished performer of the Rudraveena under the Guru Shishya Parampara in the Dhrupad Kendra Bhopal. There's a lot to be said about Umakanji and Ramakanji's enormous contribution to the field of Dhrupad music in spreading it all across the world. And Tarakini is going to take us through that and help us discover the power and the beauty of this musical tradition. I would also like to mention that both the Gundecha brothers have started, they are co-founders of the Dhrupad Sansthan, about which Taraji will also speak to us. I'd like to introduce Tarakini ji. So, Tarakini ji is one of the most dynamic and young persons I have ever encountered in my life. She, one would not say that looking at her, but her energy is something which will enthuse even somebody who's lying and incapable of doing something. So Tarati is a very multifaceted person. She is the founder of the Sunad music troupe in music group in Bangalore. But beside that, her main work is as an independent consultant in education and music. She's also a trainer in this, and she has worked with several reputed institutions in Bangalore, Andhra Pradesh, Delhi, and Ahmedabad, developing curriculum and training teachers and their trainers. Taraji is an advisor to the Shankar Mahadevan Music Academy as well. Taraji has trained intensively in Hindustani classical music for over 5 decades. She is currently training in Khayal from Srimati Lalit J. Rao and in Dhrupad from Padma Shri Gundecha brothers. She has helped to set up a school of Dhrupad in Bangalore called the Dhrupad Sankula, affiliated to the Dhrupad Sansthan I spoke to you about in Bhopal. Taraji is the founder director of a music collective that I mentioned, Sunad, and has presented over 80 shows that demystify classical music. The last three projects in Sunad that she has conceptualized and directed are the Swar Kathopanishad, the Isha Rumi Beyond Form, and the Mandukya Santavani. And these are based on the Dhrupad music composed by the Gundecha brothers and have been inspired and guided by a very great spiritual master, Sri M. So I think with these few words, I will allow them to, I will not come in between you and them and allow you to discover this very, very special treat in the realm of the Dhrupad music. So it's going to be a mix of maybe Hindi and English for our international participants. And Taradi will be there to lead the session and also to help you in the translation wherever required. I just have a request that whatever questions you have, please make sure that you're putting them in the Q&A box so that we can take them up at the end of the program. So with these few words, Taradi and Umakant Gundecha ji, my heartfelt pranams. आपको सादर प्रणाम इस कार्यक्रम में, and we're really looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Anu. And can you hear me properly, first of all?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Okay. And Namaskar, Guruji. काश हम ध्रुपद संस्थान में बैठे हुए होते अभी भोपाल में, लेकिन कम से कम ऐसे दर्शन हो रहे हैं आपके. So I'm very grateful.
Thank you.
We are at least meeting online, and it's lovely to see you. So we, as Anuradha said, we are going to talk about Dhrupad Sadhana and Nada Yoga, which is the topic of today's conversation. And because, Guruji, you have been involved in Dhrupad Sadhana for so many years, sincere, intense Dhrupad Sadhana. I thought it would be a great idea to have you talk about your experience of this sadhana and how it connects with Nada Yoga. That would be the topic today. So my first question to you is, when did you start your intense sadhana of Dhrupad? And I know that before that, you also had training in classical music, in Khayal classical music. But when did you start your intense sadhana in Dhrupad? And how long did this sadhana continue? For how long did you continue this sadhana to help you reach that level of proficiency which has made you world renowned ध्रुपद आर्टिस्ट? तो आप अपने साधना के बारे में बताइए हमें कि कब शुरू हुआ और कितनी देर कितने सालों तक वैसी साधना, इंटेंस साधना आपने मेंटेन करके रखा?
First of all, thank you very much to give me this opportunity to talk with you on this subject, and it's a very important subject. As you asked me about the initial training, very primary training, so we got this training. I mean, we started our learning music in Ujjain. We were born and brought up in Ujjain. So we did our master's degree in music. So that was a Madhav Music College. There is a Madhav Music College, is still there. So we did our master's degree. This college is affiliated with the Khairagarh University. So we had our master's degree, both me and Ramakant also. Then in 1981, we started learning, after our master's degree, we started learning Dhrupad from Ustad. Our Ustad Zia Fariduddin Dagar and Ustad Zia Mohiuddin Dagar. So government of MP started a Gurukul based Kendra, where it was just you will get the scholarship and you are under your teacher and nobody is asking what's happening, no certificate, nothing. So just you will get a scholarship and do riyaz under your teacher. That's it. And if you can sing or you are able to sing, that is your certificate. That's it. So that intensive Dhrupad training started in 1981. So 1981 to 1985, we were under Ustad, under scholarship, and learned Dhrupad from our teacher. And in 1985, in May, we gave our first performance as a student here in Bhopal. So then journey started.
So during this intense period of 4 years when you were learning from the Ustads, what was your schedule like? What was your sadhana schedule like?
Yes, very, very good question, because our sadhana schedule was very, it was a very rigorous, very, very intensive kind of training. So first of all, the kharaj practice. Kharaj practice means षडज साधना. इट्स ए जो हमारा डायलेक्ट में हम लोग खरज प्रैक्टिस बोलते हैं. तो this kharaj practice was done in early morning, like 4:30 to 5:30, even before. So 1 घंटा 45 minutes around, we did this kharaj practice for years. So you can say our day started from 4:30 or 4 o'clock morning. Then after you do your general, getting fresh and breakfast and everything. And then again, 8 o'clock, doing paltas and your whatever you have given for practice. So you do that practice. Then around 2 hours. Yeah, after 2 hours, this practice, Ustad take a class like giving you a new thing or whatever he has given. He will listen and you have to practice in front of him, whatever. So he will teach you in that way. तो सुबह 8 से लेके 12 बजे तक 12 साढ़े 12 बजे तक that class कंटिन्यू होता था. अच्छा. और फिर उसके बाद फिर लंच का ब्रेक. तो लगभग हम लोग तो अकेले रहते थे तो खाना बनाना और खाना और चूंकि सुबह 4 बजे उठना है तो थोड़ा सा रेस्ट खाने के बाद वो करके 4 बजे तक हम लोग रेस्ट लेते और 4 बजे हम फिर अपने प्रैक्टिस पर बैठते थे. तो 4 बजे प्रैक्टिस.
तो कम से कम दिन में कुल मिला के वो 4 घंटे का क्लास, सुबह 1 घंटे का खरज रियाज और फिर शाम को फिर से 2-3 घंटे.
हाँ, ये 4 बजे से फिर क्लास, मतलब हम प्रैक्टिस को बैठते तो 5-6 बजे तक लगभग हम प्रैक्टिस करते, लगभग 2 घंटा, फिर थोड़ा सा ब्रेक और उसके बाद 8 बजे से उस्ताद अपना प्रैक्टिस करते थे.
अच्छा.
हाँ, मतलब उस्ताद वो दैट वाज हिज पर्सनल प्रैक्टिस, नो टीचिंग. तो उसमें हम लोग उनके साथ तानपुरा बजाते बैठ करके. तो दैट वाज आल्सो वेरी वेरी इंटेंसिव पार्ट ऑफ ट्रेनिंग कि आप अपने उस्ताद को सुन रहे हैं.
हाँ, the listening part. Yeah.
Listening part.
Wonderful.
तो हाँ.
So your entire day from 4 a.m. till you went to sleep at night was spent in Dhrupad Sadhana.
Yes. Totally. And उस समय तो उतना डिस्ट्रक्शन का कोई साधन भी नहीं था जैसे आज मोबाइल है या टीवी है या दूसरे और साधन है. हाँ, कुछ नहीं था. तो हम लोग, इवन टीवी भी नहीं था उस समय भोपाल में. जब हम लोग उस्ताद से सीखने आए थे 1981 में तो टीवी भी नहीं था यहाँ पर. 1982 में टीवी आया और तब भी मतलब उस्ताद ने टीवी नहीं खरीदा कि उनके पास मुंबई में टीवी था तो वो जानते थे कि यहाँ टीवी अगर मैं लेके आऊंगा तो then they will, it's a new thing for them, so they will stuck with the TV. So तो वो लाए नहीं टीवी और बस. तो उस तरीके से सिर्फ you have to concentrate only on Dhrupad.
हाँ, बहुत यही मैंने ये प्रश्न पहले पूछा क्योंकि दर्शकों को समझ में आ जाए, so that the audience can understand what kind of intensity and dedication you have gone through over several years. तो 4-5 साल तो शिक्षा हुई और उसके बाद मैंने जब आपको सुना तो it was 1990 में 1991. तो वो जारी रहा क्या? You kept up this practice for how many years?
That practice after 1985, of course, a scholarship was done from the government side, but we had a relation with Ustad. I mean, when you have a teacher is not just for a scholarship. This is the Guru Shishya Parampara is for whole life. So yes, of course, then till his Ustad's last time, we were disciple of him, and whenever we were in need of him, he was helping us.
Yes.
So that is the thing. But yes, we did this practice. We did this practice around 10 years. Continue.
Around 10 years of this 10 years of continuous sadhana, ये
Continuous.
दिन में
Yes.
कम से कम 6-7 घंटे बैठ के गा रहे हैं आप, कम से कम.
Yes, yes,
तो
yes.
और सुन भी रहे हैं और
Yes.
साथ भी गा रहे हैं.
Everything,
So listening,
everything.
yeah, listening
उस्ताद
and
बोलते
singing.
थे, उस्ताद
हाँ.
बोलते थे कि अगर आप कोई ये कहता है कि हम जो है वो 6 घंटा रियाज कर रहे हैं या 10 घंटा रियाज कर रहे हैं, 15 घंटे रियाज कर रहे हैं, तो बाकी टाइम में आप क्या कर रहे हैं? तो अगर आप सोच रहे हैं तो भी वो रियाज है, पार्ट ऑफ रियाज. If you are thinking, if you are listening, if you are talking, if you are practicing yourself, if you are listening to others, these are all matter of practice, matter of your learning process. Yes.
हाँ, हाँ. So sadhana includes learning actually from the gurus, your own practice, as well as listening, as well as thinking about the
Thinking.
subject.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Now you say that Dhrupad singing is a form of Nada Yoga. Can you explain why?
Dhrupad is a Nada Yoga because you know, and I think most of the listeners who knows about Dhrupad, they know about this thing that Dhrupad developed in temples. And because of that, Dhrupad has a meditative quality. Kyunki when you are in temple, then what you are doing? You are doing a worship through music. When you are doing worship through music, then it's a meditative quality of music. तो ये सब ध्रुपद में जो ये आराधना का भाव, साधना का तत्व, ये सब उसमें धीरे धीरे इन्वॉल्व हुए और वो टेक्निक, सारी टेक्निक उसमें धीरे धीरे समाहित हुई ध्रुपद में. तो जैसे आपका कंसंट्रेशन आपका एक हो, आप ठीक से आप मेडिटेशन कर सकें, इस तरीके की क्वालिटी म्यूजिक में डेवलप हुई. और इसलिए आप ध्रुपद को जब नाद योगा की बात करते हैं तो वो सिर्फ ध्रुपद है, क्योंकि कंसंट्रेशन का मसला, सुर का मसला या सुर को लगाने का मसला, ये सारी जो क्रियाएं हैं उसमें जिनसे कि वो राग डेवलप होता है, ध्रुपद डेवलप होता है, वो सारी क्रियाएं जो हैं वो मेडिटेटिव हैं और योगा बेस्ड हैं.
अच्छा, तो आप कह, so you are talking about Dhrupad being yoga based.
Yes.
And therefore being Nad Yoga, because it started in temples, it has this aspect of worship and concentration, meditation on the swara, on the production of the rag, and therefore it is Nada Yoga. That is what you've just said. Now I want to ask you.
देखिए, एक बात और मैं कह रहा हूँ, ये जो टेम्पल में जो डेवलप हुआ उसके मुताबिक कि हम प्राणायाम करते हैं. प्राणायाम का अपना एक जो टेक्निक है, तो प्राणायाम क्या है कि हम अपनी सांस को रेगुलराइज करते हैं. प्राणायाम के थ्रू हम अपनी सांस को रेगुलराइज करते हैं. तो वो जो सांस का जो रेगुलराइजेशन है वो हम यहाँ नाद के थ्रू करते हैं.
तो इसीलिए इसको नाद योग.
तो वहाँ उस सुर लगाने का जो तरीका है वो डेवलप इस ढंग से हुआ है कि वो नाद योगा का टेक्निक है. वो ध्रुपद में आपको मिलेगा, वो दूसरे उसमें नहीं मिलेगा.
हाँ, तो मैं अभी वही उसी प्रश्न पे आ रही हूँ कि जो आपने नाद योग कहा, तो योगा के बारे में जो सबसे बड़े श्रेष्ठ ऋषि हैं जिन्होंने योगा के बारे में हम सबको बताया, पातंजलि. तो पातंजलि योग सूत्र में अष्टांग योग का विवरण है और जो जितना सब मैं उसका समझ सकी हूँ from my Guru Shri M and his explanation of Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. So I was wondering if we could take the Ashtanga Yoga के 8 अंग जो हैं, the 8 limbs of yoga which have been described by Patanjali, who is the foremost rishi who has talked about yoga and explained what it means in real life. I was wondering if we could relate that to your Dhrupad sadhana, your personal Dhrupad sadhana. So my first question would be, the first anga is Yama. The first limb of these 8 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga is Yama. Yama meaning lagam lagana, to control or rein in. So it has several facets, but I would like to ask you about 2 of those. One is Satya and the other is Ahimsa. And I know that by the religion that you practice is Jainism, and in Jainism, Ahimsa is the foremost tenet of that religion. So therefore, what has Satya and Ahimsa meant for you in your life as well as in your sadhana of Dhrupad? Your personal
very, yeah, because as you told, I practice dharma as a dharma, this Jainism. So Jainism में जो अहिंसा है और जो सत्य की जो बात है, सत्य, अहिंसा, अपरिग्रह, जियो एंड जीने दो, these are all Jainism motto. So that is a different thing. But देखिए, सत्य और अहिंसा, why it is need in Nad Yoga? Because अगर आपका दिल साफ नहीं है, अगर आपका मन, आपका विचार वो अगर साफ नहीं है, वो सत्य नहीं है, वो सत्य को अगर ग्रहण नहीं कर रहा है, तो आप कहीं ना कहीं जो साधना करने जा रहे हैं उसमें आपको तकलीफ आएगी. तो इसलिए सबसे पहले ये है कि आप अपना मन साफ रखें, एकदम क्लियर रखें. और वो क्लियर, जब मन क्लियर होगा तो आदमी हमेशा जो भी होगा एकदम सत्य, पारदर्शी, वो झूठ नहीं बोलेगा. वैसे ही अहिंसा कि हमारे जैनिज्म में तो ये है कि वहां हमारे यहाँ जो अहिंसा है, हिंसा जो है वो 3 तरीके से होती है. एक मन से, एक वचन से और एक कर्म से. मन का मतलब ये होता है कि even if you think to kill someone, you have killed him by your thinking. Then if you tell to someone, I will kill you, that is the second type of hinsa. And the third one, practical, if you are doing this. So in Jainism, even you cannot think about hinsa.
बिल्कुल.
That is the great thing. So ये जो अहिंसा का विचार है, ये जो अहिंसा का विचार है, that is most important to bring your brain clear, to accept the things from the nature, from the music, to acceptance is a very big thing. And for both, for these both things are very, very important.
हाँ, बिल्कुल, बहुत सुंदर बताया आपने. क्योंकि जो एक बहुत बड़ी बात कही आपने, you said something very important, that जैसा मनुष्य है, जैसा आदमी है, वैसा गायन भी निकलता है.
Yes.
है ना?
जो नेचर है उसका, वो जो उसका अपना नेचर है, वो गाने में आता है.
हाँ,
वो गाने में आता है. इसलिए सबसे पहली जो बहस है कि आप अपना मन साफ रखें.
बिल्कुल, क्योंकि ये तो मैंने आपके गाने में बहुत देखा है. I have actually experienced this in your music, that there is this kind of total, openness that is part of your nature, and complete purity of character. I think that is really shows in your music. And I
Thank
think
you.
that is where the yama has come so much into your sadhana,
Thank you.
of ahimsa and satya, and the rest of it, aparigraha and all of that. So let's move to the next one, which is niyam. Niyam is
Yeah.
regulation. And I want to ask you, what kind of, you already mentioned it in your sadhana, the niyam that you kept of kharaj riyaz every morning for 10 years of this thing. Can you give us a small sample of what actually kharaj riyaz is? Can you give a little
Yes,
demonstration?
yes, yes. So the Kharaj Riyaz is, we start with the middle sa, middle octave sa, and then go slowly down, wherever it is comfortable. The lowest note which you can sing comfortably, you just go there and stay for a 45 minutes or 1 hour. That is called Kharaj Sadhana. So I just show you.
By the way, I'd like to inform all the audiences that Umakantji's kharaj is something that nobody else can acquire. His bass voice is just absolutely stunning, and I'm so happy he's going to give us a demonstration of that.
So that's good. Yeah. So yeah. This is middle octave sa, and then go. Because early morning, that is Bhairav Samay. So we do this normally, this Kharaj practice in Bhairav, but many people, they do simple in Bilawal like this, but we did in Bhairav. अब आप देखिए, ये जो यहाँ हो रहा है, यही नाद योग है, ठीक है ना? क्योंकि अब हम जब यहाँ हम सा लगा रहे हैं, तो यहाँ हमारी क्या कोशिश है कि जो हमारा तानपुरा है, नंबर 1, उससे हमारा स्वर का एकाकार हो जाए, स्वर हिले नहीं, स्वर स्थिर हो जाए, ठीक है ना? और जितना लंबे से लंबा हम लगा सके, वही प्राणायाम पद्धति कि हमने अपने लंग्स में हवा भरी, लिया, लंबा सांस लिया, और उसके बाद उसको मिनिमाइज करते हुए हमने अपनी सांस को रेगुलराइज करके उसके ऊपर स्वर को आरोहित किया, है ना? देखिए, ये जो प्रक्रिया है, यही नाद योगा की प्रक्रिया है कि हम अपनी सांस को भी रेगुलराइज कर रहे हैं नाद के थ्रू। जी।
So I will just say this again for the audience.
Yeah.
Some of who have not, perhaps because it's new for them. What Guruji just showed is the kind of kharaj riyaz, or the practice of just the sa, which is in the base octave. So he started from the middle octave and he went lower and lower and lower till he went to the base sa. Not everybody can reach this base sa. So he explained right in the beginning that you go as low as you can and you stay there. So
yes,
once you reach that low note, Guruji, you stay there for 1 hour, right? You sing it for about 45 minutes.
45 minutes to 1 hour, yes.
Yes. So that kind of singing he just explained, and he showed how it means you have to fill your lungs with air and then go to that note and make that note match the Tanpura and stay there for as long as you can. So just this process is in itself a yogic process, which is why, because the yogic process is being achieved with sound, nada, therefore Dhrupad is Nada Yoga. So Guruji, that was a beautiful demonstration, and also a demonstration of the kind of niyam that you had to do from the Ashtanga Yoga. We've come to the second anga or limb, which is niyam, which is regulation. And this is the kind of regulated life that both Ramakanji and Umakanji led for a period of more than 10 years when they were doing sadhana with all these regulations. And of course, the yama of satya and ahimsa that they have followed as best as they can through their lives. Now, the third anga is asana. And there is one more thing. In niyama, there is tapaha and swadhyaya. तो स्वाध्याय होता है अपने आप से जो आप बैठ के रियाज कर रहे हैं, जिसके बारे में आपने बताया है, लेकिन तपह भी है, जो तपह का अर्थ है, the meaning of tapah is heat, or it is tapasya, it is a kind of penance. So would you like to say how this relates to your Dhrupad sadhana? Tapasya,
yes.
tapaha.
तपस्या जो है, देखिए, ये जो तपस्या साधना, ये दोनों शब्द एक ही है. उसको संस्कृत में आप तपह बोल रहे हैं, और हमारे यहाँ जैनियों में हम लोग तप बोलते हैं. तप, वो तपह से ही आया है. ये तप जो है, ये एक तरीके का मतलब जो हमारी जो दूसरी भाषा, अरे अपने जैनियों की पाली जो है, उसमें तप बोलते हैं इसको, तप. तो ये तप का मतलब वो ये साधना. तो ये जब हम संगीत की प्रैक्टिस करते हैं 3 घंटा, 4 घंटा, 5 घंटा, 6 घंटा, वो साधना ही है, वो तप ही है. और उस तप में बिल्कुल भी आपको अपना कंसंट्रेशन लूज नहीं करना है. तप का मतलब ये होता है कि आपका ध्यान एक जगह पर ही केंद्रित हो. और इसका मैं आपको बहुत अच्छा एक मतलब जो हमारे उस्ताद ने जो हमको बताया और जो हमसे करवाया भी, वो ये था कि वो अखबार भी नहीं पढ़ने देते थे. उस जमाने में टीवी, जैसा मैंने बताया, टीवी तो था नहीं, मोबाइल था नहीं. अब ले दे करके एक रेडियो और एक अखबार, 2 चीजें होती थी. तो रेडियो भी चलाने नहीं देते थे और अखबार भी नहीं आता था, क्योंकि वो कहते हैं कि ये सारी जो आपका जो कंसंट्रेशन इस समय, ये जो तपस्या चल रही है, ये जो साधना का समय है, ये आप ऐसा नहीं है कि वो साधना सिर्फ उतनी ही समय है जितनी देर आप गा रहे हैं. नहीं, इसके अलावा भी आप साधना में हैं. यानी आप अगर खाना खा रहे हैं तो विचार कर रहे हैं संगीत के बारे में, आप बातचीत कर रहे हैं. ये सारा जो, यानी आप 24 घंटे आप उसी में रहिए, अपने दिमाग को कंसंट्रेट करके रखिए उसी में. तो ये तप है, यही साधना है.
बहुत सुंदर. So what Guruji just explained is that this tapasya or penance went on to the extent that their ustad did not let them even read the newspaper or listen to the radio, because at that time there was no television, so that distraction was not there. But not even the radio, not even the newspaper, to distract them from their one-pointed attention on Dhrupad sadhana. And so that is the kind of tapasya, the kind of niyam that they followed, which is the second part of the Ashtanga Yoga. And we come to the third part, which I think is pretty obvious, the asana. जो आपने कहा कि आप 6-7 घंटे बैठते थे, you're sitting for 6 to 8 hours a day in a particular posture, and that is asana. So
yes.
which posture and how did you maintain it without tiring?
देखिए, ये that is very most important thing. If you cannot sit for 2, 3, 4 hours continuously without changing the position, then you cannot sing. So this is the asana is the very first thing which you have to command over. कि आपको एक और वो पोस्चर कैसा है जो मेरुदंड आपका सीधा रहे.
The spine should be straight.
Yes, spinal cord should be straight और ये सीना बाहर होना चाहिए ऐसा, ये इस तरीके से. और ये जो पैर है ये ऐसा क्या बोलेंगे उसको, मुड़ा हुआ ऐसा
हाँ, crossed,
yes, crossed leg, yes. और मेरुदंड सीधा और सीना ऐसा बाहर. इसी आसन में आपको बैठ करके साधना करना है. तो ये आसन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है गाने वालों के लिए, बजाने वालों के लिए, कि वो उतनी देर 2, 3, 4 घंटा, अगर आप 4 घंटा, आप 3 घंटा घर में बैठ करके प्रैक्टिस नहीं कर सकते तो आप 2 घंटा स्टेज पर बैठ करके क्या गाएंगे?
बिल्कुल. तो अभी किसी ऑडियंस ने लिखा इट्स पद्मासन मैम, बट इट्स नॉट पद्मासन.
No,
they sit in Sukhasan, not Padmasan. They sit in Sukhasan.
Yes.
Sukhasan, just sitting cross-legged.
Yes.
And but keeping your spine straight and your chest erect.
Yes.
And filled out. Yes.
उसका कारण है, देखिए. तारा जी, ये इसलिए ऐसा बैठना है ताकि लंग्स आपका पूरा खुला रहे. अगर आप ऐसा बैठेंगे तो आपका लंग्स अंदर हो गया, तो वो आधी हवा नहीं जाएगी उसमें.
So the important thing
with the full capacity.
So in order to fill your lungs to the full capacity, you have to sit absolutely erect.
Yes.
You can't slouch. Yeah. So that is beautiful. And we come to the next one, which you've already explained, which was pranayam. And you said how the breathing has to be synchronized with the note.
Bilkul.
And the next one is pratyahara. That is the concept of drawing the mind from one thing and fixing it, immersing it in the next thing. That is pratyahara. So can you just talk about for a minute about what pratyahara would mean? कि एक चीज से हटा के मन को और एक चीज में पूरे के पूरे यत्न से इमर्स करना.
देखिए वही जो कंसंट्रेशन है. देखिए हमारे यहाँ जो एक म्यूजिक में होता है चिल्ला, है ना, चिल्ला होता है, आपने भी सुना होगा ये सब. तो चिल्ला जो है ये क्या है? ये एक कंसंट्रेशन है. एक हमको एक जगह पर बैठ करके एक दूसरी सारी चीजों से अपना ध्यान हटा करके वो चिल्ले में हमको वही चीज करना है जिसका हमने प्रण लिया है. सारी चीजों से ध्यान हटा करके हमको वही और वो एक ही चीज करना है.
बिल्कुल.
तो ये
pratyahar taken to its ultimate, I will just say it in English, Guruji, that what Guruji is explaining is about chilla, which is a concept of taking a vow for usually 40 days, right?
40 days, yes.
So 40 दिन का एक व्रत और या a vow that I will stay away from everything else and immerse my mind in this and not do anything else. That is a vow that even I think all people take even now for at least once a year, if not more, where they spend these 40 days in complete sadhana. I think some of your students also still do it now.
Yes.
This
is a very common practice if you want to become a professional musician.
Yeah. So professional musician.
Yes. This chilla is musician practice. Yes.
And then we come to dharana, which is focus. So you've talked a lot about focus, but in specific, when you are singing Dhrupad, what is your main focus? Is it the sur? Is it the rag? Is it both? What is your main focus?
Sur is the most important thing to focus, because if you are, whatever you are singing, any rag, you take any rag, but in the rag, if the sur you are not singing at the proper place, if you are not singing right? If you are not singing correctly, the sur at a proper place, then it doesn't make, whatever you are singing, it's useless. तो ये जो कंसंट्रेशन है, ये सुर के ऊपर कंसंट्रेशन की, सुर को हमें कितना बारीकी से और कितना ध्यान से लगा करके और उसको हमें तानपुरे से संवादित करना है। उसका तानपुरे से एकीकृत होना बहुत जरूरी है।
हाँ,
उसका संवाद तानपुरे से होना बहुत जरूरी है।
बिल्कुल। और हर सुर का, by sur is meant the swara or the
Yes.
note, and every note in the rag, है ना?
Every note in
Each
the
one
rag.
has its, yeah. So each rag will have the note placement, and every note has to be perfectly matched.
And you have to concentrate on the sur.
Yeah. So that
Then
is
you
the
can,
main focus.
then you can develop the raga. Otherwise, you can't.
Yes, yes. So the main focus, and this is done with a great amount of detail and attention in Dhrupad, particularly because there is less movement and less hurriedness.
Yes.
है ना?
ये
जल्दी नहीं होती।
कंसंट्रेशन के लिए ये बहुत जरूरी है कि जो हम लंबा सा, ये जो लंबा सुर हम लगाते हैं, ये आपको बहुत जल्दी कंसंट्रेट कर देता है।
हाँ।
क्योंकि यहाँ हम 2-3 चीजों का ध्यान रख रहे हैं। स्वर ठीक से लग रहा है कि नहीं, यानी तानपुरे में मैच कर रहा है कि नहीं। दूसरा, जितना लंबे से लंबा हम लगाएंगे तो सारा ध्यान यहीं पर हमारा केंद्रित है ना। और ध्यान, इसीलिए आपका ध्यान गाते समय तुरंत केंद्रित हो जाता है।
हाँ, हाँ।
खास तौर से ध्रुपद में, क्योंकि ध्रुपद में स्वर हिलाते नहीं है।
हाँ, तो आप थोड़ा सा इसका यमन का थोड़े से स्वर लगा के हमको एक डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन देंगे कि कैसे आप पकड़ते हैं सुर।
हाँ, ठीक है। तेज का आवाज तानपुरा सुनाई देता है?
हाँ, तानपुरा सुनाई दे रहा है, लेकिन आपकी आवाज फिर बहुत बारीक हो जाती है क्योंकि तानपुरा ज्यादा हो जाता है। हाँ, तो थोड़ा आप पास में गा दीजिए। हाँ।
तो ये जो सुर लगाने का तरीका है, ये आपको सिर्फ ध्रुपद में मिलेगा।
हाँ,
कि सुर को लंबा करके उसके स्वर को अपनी सांस के मिनिमम एक्सेल एयर पर सुर को स्थापित करना और उसको तानपुरे से संवादित करना।
हाँ,
ये आपको सिर्फ ध्रुपद, चूंकि ये मंदिरों में डेवलप हुई है इसकी टेक्निक, तो वो सब इस ढंग से टेक्निक डेवलप हुई है कि वो योगा बेस्ड है, वो आपका ध्यान आपका डिस्टर्ब ना हो ज्यादा। अभी आप इस सुर को अगर हिलाएंगे ना, तो ये देखिए इसका प्रभाव अलग हो गया है ना, इसका प्रभाव अलग हो गया। इस जो मैंने हमारे ध्रुपद में हम लोग लंबा सुर करके उसका प्रभाव अलग आता है।
हाँ,
उसका उसका उसकी उसका आपको देखेंगे कि वो मेडिटेशनल क्वालिटी है उस साउंड की।
बिल्कुल। तो अभी
ये
जो दो
फर्क है।
बचे हैं, दो योग के, अष्टांग योग के दो बचे हैं, ध्यान और
हाँ।
समाधि। मुझे
जी।
लग रहा है कि वो ध्यान का अभी जो आपने गाया, सब
जी।
हमारे ऑडियंस को ऑलरेडी थोड़ा सा महसूस हो गया है. I'm sure all of you have experienced some amount of dhyan or meditation in listening to this very short alap by Umakant ji. And I just, Umakant ji, आप अगर दो शब्द कहें about ध्यान and samadhi with
देखिए
reference to
मैंने जैसा कहा ना कि सुर तभी लगेगा सही जब आपका ध्यान कंसंट्रेट होगा।
हाँ,
हम लोग ध्यान की बात कर चुके हैं कि इस जो
हाँ,
सुर लगाने का जो तरीका है, वो जब तक आप कंसंट्रेट आवाज को सुर के ऊपर नहीं करेंगे, जब ये कंसंट्रेशन ही ध्यान है कि आप
बिल्कुल.
सुर को ध्यान जब तक नहीं करके लगाएंगे वो उस जगह पर नहीं लगेगा।
हाँ,
और
हाँ,
यही सुर जो है जब परफेक्टली लग जाता है, जब उसका तानपुरे के साथ आवाज का एकाकार हो जाता है, जब गाने आपकी आवाज और तानपुरे की आवाज एकदम एक हो जाती है, वही समाधि की स्थिति होती है।
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल. और
तो
आपने कहा
और ये समाधि की स्थिति क्या है? समाधि की स्थिति क्या है? आदमी विचार शून्य हो जाए, जहां आदमी विचार शून्य हो जाए, जहां उसको एकदम सिर्फ सुर सुनाई दे और कोई बात उसके दिमाग में ना आए, जहां सिर्फ स्वर की सत्ता में वो पहुंच जाए,
बहुत
तो
सुंदर.
यही समाधि की स्थिति है
बिल्कुल
कि
सही.
आप विचार शून्य हो गए हैं।
I just want to explain this point again in English for those who
Yes.
couldn't understand it. That what Guruji just said is that there is a state when the tanpura and your voice have matched perfectly in the sur, when the dhyan or the meditation has led you to a point of no thoughts, no other thoughts but the thought of the swara and it's matching the sound of the tanpura. And that is when it is like samadhi, because you have become one with your goal. And there is no other thought in the mind. It's a state of thoughtlessness. So,
And that's why our saints, Ustad, Pandit, everybody has experienced this, that the Nad Yoga is the best yoga.
it is, in fact, as you say, the Nad Yoga is
the best.
The easiest yoga in a sense. It's the best,
Yes.
and it's in fact,
Yes.
it's the easiest. Because maze mein, you know,
Yes.
very happily through music you can get there.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes. So I think now we have reached 50 minutes of our conversation, and I think it's time now, Anuradha and Vinay Chandra, for us to get into the question and answer session, right? So if you want to pose any of the questions, then Guruji will take them.
Sure. Thank you very much for very beautifully mapping on the sadhana of the Dhrupad sadhana and Nada yoga on the Patanjali's Ashtanga yoga, and helping us see the bridge, the very close and intimate bridge that exists between these two practices. I think for our audience, this is really an opportunity to widen the scope of what yoga can offer in so many diverse ways. So, Guruji, thank you very much. And Taraji,
Thank you.
I mean, you're always wonderful the way you lead, you enthuse, and you can get the best out of people you are working with. So I would just like to take a few questions here. So the first one was by Aarti ji, who says that Namaste Panditji and Taraji would love to understand how yoga and music are related and its significance of notes and chakras, especially with the relationship between the notes and chakras.
Very good question. Yes, yeah, that point, I think we missed this point.
Yes.
While we were doing Kharaj talking, I missed this point, and she erased this. Very good. So when we do Kharaj sadhana, morning time, why it is in morning time? Because the morning time is a nectar time. हमारे यहाँ ब्रह्म मुहूर्त बोलते हैं उसको. तो ब्रह्म मुहूर्त में जो ईड़ा पिंगला सुषुम्ना नाड़ियां हैं वो जागृत होती हैं, और वो ये ईड़ा पिंगला सुषुम्ना नाड़ियां जो हमारे चक्र हैं उन सबको जोड़ती हैं, और ये जागृत होती है ब्रह्म मुहूर्त में सुबह 4 बजे. तो ये जब हम खरज साधना करते हैं तो जो हमारे नाभि के नीचे जो ब्रह्म कमल है, ये वहां स्पंदन होता है, वहां अग्नि प्रज्वलित होती है, और वहां से नाद यात्रा शुरू होके और ये ऐसा पूरा लेकर के ऊपर ब्रह्मरंध्र तक जाती है. यानी ब्रह्म कमल से शुरू हुई, नाभि, नाभि से हृदय, हृदय से कंठ, कंठ से नासिका, और नासिका से ब्रह्मरंध्र, यहाँ तक उसकी जर्नी होती है पूरी. और इस रास्ते में हमारे जो चक्रास हैं वो सब एक्टिवेट हो जाते हैं, वो खरच और वो सारे के सारे अलाइन हो जाते हैं. चक्रास जो है वो एक्टिवेट होके सारे अलाइन हो जाते हैं. ये उसका एक दूसरा जो एस्पेक्ट है. जो खरच साधना जो हम म्यूजिक के लिए करते हैं वो अपनी जगह है, लेकिन योगा के संदर्भ में उसका ये बहुत बड़ा महत्व है कि आपके चक्रास सारे एक्टिवेट हो जाते हैं खरच साधना से. जी.
Beautiful, Guruji, very beautiful. So I'll just say that in one sentence, that Guruji has just explained how during Kharaj Riyaz, the breath is taken from the Muladhar or the bottommost chakra, and it is taken all the way up to the top of the head. The breath is taken through all the chakras, and the reason for doing this Kharaj Riyaz at the Brahma Muhurt, which is 4 o'clock or 4:30 in the morning, is that the nadis or the channels are activated at that time in the best possible way. And therefore, through sound, activation of the chakras happens. That is the, apart from the musical value of it, it is the actual activation of chakras.
Yes.
In answer to Adam's
Yes.
very good question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anu,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Thank you very much. I think that was, yes, very, very beautifully explained why the Brahma Muhurtam is so important for a singer to practice at that time. So we have some very profound, I mean, some expressions of gratitude for what you have shared with the audience. So abhi ek Vinita ji is saying that very informative and inspiring talk. You say that if the mind or man, or if the man or the mind is not saf or clean, then it shows in your voice. So purifying the mind is a lifetime's task. How is it possible to find your true voice, or is it at all possible?
Yeah, no, it's possible, and this is possible in Dhrupad also. True voice. The true voice means there is a akar sadhana. Sadhana of akar, a. So the projection of voice, akar, is a very important thing. And we have a method to bring out your original akar. So that is very important thing, to bring your own voice. which comes through Akar.
Very beautiful. I mean,
Beautiful,
it's very
beautiful.
interesting how in the Mandukya Upanishad also, they give so much of importance to the A. And just
Yes.
in addition that Sri Aurobindo says, he says that the sound of A corresponds to our absolute existence.
Yes.
It is a bit like our identity card in sound. And it's a very beautiful.
Yeah. So Kaushiji has just said, can you share the method, please? So if you want the method to be shared of how to produce this true voice, you'll have to go to the Gurukul and stay with Guruji for some
Yes.
time.
Yes. Yes. You know, this is the
Yes.
it is a matter of sadhana, and when you come to our Gurukul, or if you come to personally, then we can explain how you have to bring your own voice, how you have to sing your own voice, and that's why how you should sing in proper akar.
Yes. So, Tara,
Yes.
would you like to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about the Drupad Sansthan? So that, because we've got question of people who are, Debraji also saying that, how can we
Yeah.
find the true voice and how can we improve the voice quality? So, if
So
you have to share with the,
There are method in Drupad where you can improve your voice quality, you can improve your own voice. So there
yes.
there
Yeah.
is a
So
practice.
yes, and Drupad Sansthan was set up by Umakanji and Ramakanji because of the intense Drupad sadhana that they did and the need for a space to be able to do this sadhana. So, in fact, I've heard stories of how when they started staying on their own, they could not find a house and they moved how many houses, Guruji? In 1 year you moved some 9 houses
9 houses,
because
yes.
because nobody wanted people to start singing at 4:30 in the morning. They thought it was a big nuisance, and
Yes.
therefore they said, "No, we can't rent the house to you." And therefore there was no place available for the Gurujis to actually do their Kharaj Riyaz, which is such an important part of the whole Drupad sadhana, as you must have understood now. And therefore they decided that our students should not have to suffer this problem of finding the space. And they have built this absolutely beautiful haven in Bhopal. It is about 8 kilometers out of the city. Of course, now it's getting built up all around, but even now it is far apart and it is very beautiful. And the rooms and the practice spaces that have been created specially for Drupad sadhana. It's a wonderful place, in addition to the fact that the Gurujis teach with such devotion. So now Umakanji is teaching, Akhilesh ji, their younger brother, teaches the Pakhavaj, and today he's not on the screen, but the Pakhavaj sound is again something that is just so wonderful that you can experience from morning till evening in the Gurukul. And just listening to the sounds as you go from one room to another of the different voices singing, of the Pakhavaj playing, of different instruments. I think there are students learning about 17 different instruments also from the Gurujis in the Gurukul, starting from Rudraveena, which is the very fundamental instrument which is actually imitated by the voice, if I understand correctly.
Yes.
But so the Rudraveena, there are so many people learning that, as well as other Vichitra Veena and various other kinds of Veenas are also there, in addition to other instruments. So there are so many different beautiful sounds that you can hear when you walk through the Gurukul. It is a fantastic experience. And if you just want to go in, and the Gurujis are totally open-hearted about accepting students. In fact, they have a beautiful hostel now, which can accommodate up to how many people now, Guruji? About
100
100?
people, 100 students. We can
100
accommodate.
students. Yeah, 100 students. And there's a marvelous cook called Roop Singh who makes beautiful food. And there is all the amenities are there, and you just don't have to worry about anything else. You can just tune your tanpura and you can get absorbed in sound. That is the beauty of this Drupad Sansthan.
I'll take up on this.
If somebody wants more information about, they can visit our website drupad.org.
Drupad.org. We'll put that on
Yes.
the drupad.org.
Yes.
Oh, wait, sorry.
So you will get more information there. Yes.
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 So I just also wanted to mention on that note that you said that you can get lost in the sound. So Suchitra ji from Bangalore, she's asking. She says that can one not get so lost in music that one can assume it to be the highest sadhana and thereby lose sight of the real spiritual goal, which is self-realization? So you get so lost in music that you might forget that the real goal is self-realization, and get a bit bhatkofied by that. So, how do you say?
देखिए म्यूजिक जो है उसका अंतिम लक्ष्य जो है वो हमारे दिमाग को, मन को शांति प्रदान करना है ना। कला का, हमारे ध्रुपद का यही जो है अंतिम लक्ष्य होता है कि आपका दिमाग, आपका चित्त, आपका मन जो है वो थॉटलेसनेस की तरफ चला जाए, चित्त शांत हो जाए। तो अब जब आप, हमारी प्रक्रिया वहां तक ले जा रही है, थॉटलेसनेस, जहां आप सब कुछ भूल जाएं, तो फिर आप अपने बारे में तो भूलना ही चाहेंगे। वही असल उसकी स्थिति है, द हाईएस्ट जिसको कहेंगे जो समाधि की स्थिति। तो वो सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन, आप उसको, मतलब मैं तो कहता हूँ कि सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन से भी ऊपर की चीज है वो, जो जहाँ ध्रुपद आपको ले जाता है।
So I think going back to Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, he talks of exactly what Umakanji just said, which is Chitta Vritti Nirodha, right? So you stop the fluctuations of the mind. The whole purpose of Ashtanga Yoga is to stop the fluctuations of the mind, and that is exactly what this Nada Yoga of Drupad is doing. And then, as I know Suchi knows very well, that when the mind is absolutely pure, that is when the Atman or the Brahman shines through. The supreme reality, वो बिल्कुल प्रत्यक्ष हो जाती है जब मन बिल्कुल स्थिर रहे, when all thoughts are gone. And therefore what this journey in Drupad, and as Umakanji just said, it is the antim lakshya, it is the ultimate goal of Drupad, to get this kind of absolutely peaceful mind.
Yes.
I am very tempted, and I will make the request also. Because we've heard a lot about Drupad, and I know that we cannot do any justice to it in 1 hour. And a few minutes is even doing even more injustice to it. But could you just take us through a small journey of getting us to hear a little bit of just something, maybe just a few minutes, because our audience is there and we'd love to be translated.
Bandhish, do you want to hear a Bandhish?
Yes.
Bandish, I think Bandish, yes.
Yes.
I will sing Bandish, yes.
Nada Parabrahma.
राग पटदीप, नाद परब्रह्म अपरंपार. The words are नाद परब्रह्म अपरंपार. Re no te tara nari no Nada para Brahma, nada para Brahma, nada para Brahma. नाद पर ब्रह्म, नाद पर ब्रह्म, अपरंपार, अपरंपार। जाने गुनी जन, जाने गुनी जन, गुण की सार। नाद पर ब्रह्म, नाद पर ब्रह्म, नादागी नादागी जगतादार, नादागी जगतादार। नाद सकल सृष्टि, नाद सकल सृष्टि, नाद साकार। नाद पर ब्रह्म, नाद पर ब्रह्म, अपरंपार, अपरंपार। जाने गुनी जन, जाने गुनी जन, गुण की सार। नाद पर ब्रह्म, नाद पर ब्रह्म, नाद पर ब्रह्म।
वाह, बहुत सुंदर, बहुत ही
थैंक
सुंदर।
यू, थैंक यू।
ये आपका ही कंपोजिशन है ना,
हाँ,
गुंदेचार
ये हमारे
बंधुओं का?
कंपोजिशन है, नाद पर ब्रह्म। यस।
एंड इट ये जो आपने अंतिम लक्ष्य के बारे में कहा, वो सब इसमें है,
जी
इन
जी।
शब्दों में है।
So the ultimate goal is there in these words itself. I mean, in this music.
Yes.
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 Yeah, it's not right for me to keep talking after this, but I'll just take one question, which is a very beautiful question. We have a very engaging audience. They're normally very enthusiastic and they listen very keenly. So one question that we have here is by Krishnan Shivarama Krishnan ji. He says that, is a silent pause a musical note? What are the ways silence is used in music?
Yes, very important thing, very important thing. When you are singing and giving a space to the silence is a part of music. When you are singing and giving silence, silence means only tanpura playing. Silence means when you are, because we sing with the tanpura sound. So tanpura are in the background. So when we are silent, tanpuras are going on. तो ये तानपुरे को जब हम गाने के बीच में उसको जगह देते हैं, तो वो राग का एक पार्ट होता है, वो गाने का एक पार्ट होता है, और उससे एक नई बात, एक नया डायमेंशन राग में आता है उस साइलेंस से। तो वो एक इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज है, और वो हर व्यक्ति को समझना होता है कि वो साइलेंस कहाँ और कैसे देना है। It's a very important thing.
To know where to give that silence and to also listen to the tanpura.
Yes.
And I mean, I'll just add one, I'll just follow that question. So when you're listening to the tanpura, there is something that is happening in that silence to the being. मतलब एक एक्सपीरियंस होता है जो तानपुरा जब हम सुनते हैं, तो हमारे अंदर उस खामोश के उस साइलेंट मोमेंट में क्या होता है?
हम जब गा रहे होते हैं और जब उसको साइलेंस रखते हैं अपना आवाज, और तानपुरे का जब, तो हम उसमें सुर को देखते हैं कि वो जो हमने सुर लगाया है और जहाँ छोड़ा है वो उससे संवादित हुआ कि नहीं। और उसके बाद जो तानपुरे का जो ओरा है, एक तानपुरे का एक ओरा होता है, उस ओरे में हम अपने सुर को फिर से देख करके कि अब हमको कहाँ से उसको शुरू करना है।
Wonderful.
वो हम फिर उसको क्योंकि जहाँ छोड़ा है वो एक जगह है, अब जहाँ से हमको पकड़ना है वो दूसरी जगह है, क्योंकि वो तानपुरा चल रहा है, वो साइलेंस चल रहा है। अब हमको उसको कहाँ पकड़ना है कि वो करेक्ट पोजीशन होगी, तभी वो साइलेंस का मजा है। वो टाइमिंग अगर आपका गलत हो गया तो वो साइलेंस बेकार हो गया। तो तानपुरा गाते 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 आपने तानपुरे के लिए जगह दिया, वो साइलेंस को आपने टाइम दिया, तो उसका भी एक टाइमिंग है साइलेंस का। अगर उस टाइमिंग को आपने अगर मिस कर दिया तो वो साइलेंस जो आपने दिया है उसका इंपॉर्टेंस खत्म हो जाएगा। तो वो कहाँ हमको फिर से आवाज शुरू करना है, ये हम सोचते हैं।
Taradi, would you like to just
Bahut-
elaborate on that?
Yeah, so what Umakanji said, and for me also, this is a very new thought, that when we have a silent space in the middle of the music and they're listening to the tanpura, then the tanpura creates an aura around it. And it is going on in a particular fashion, and we have stopped singing and we've left the note at a particular spot. And when we pick up the note, we have to pick it up at another spot in this aura of the tanpura. And if there is even a difference in the timing of picking
Yes.
up this note, then the effect of that silence is gone.
Gone. Yes.
Beautiful. I
So
mean,
you have to pick up at the right time,
Yes.
right place, right time.
yes.
And very often I've heard them do this very beautiful effect. So which we try to get, but I don't know if we get it, where they are reaching the pancham or they're trying to reach another swara, and there is that slight pause that is given. So
Yes.
pama, pama, pama.
Yes.
So
Yes.
in which you actually visualize the swar and then enter it.
Yes.
So I've seen that use of that silent space.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. The thought, the word that came to me was that you are like a swara shrota. You know, in the Vedas, they talk of the mantra drashtara and mantra shrotara. They hear the mantras. So this is like the swara shrotaraha. So swara shrota, you have to hear that sound, no? It's like tuning yourself into the larger cosmic vibrations and catch the right. That right is very important as a rhythm in the Vedic idea. They talk of this right thing. And if you get it right, then there's an amplification of brihat in one's experience. It's very beautiful there. So thank you very much for that. Now there are a lot of questions coming in, and unfortunately due to time, we will not be able to take too many more of them. But there are just one question that is repeated in different ways is about what practice would you recommend? What practice would you recommend? So Sunil ji and a few others are saying this. To anybody who's a sincere sadhaka, what kind of nada yoga or kharaj practice, or what would you recommend and for how long? So even if it's just the ah, so if you'd like to demonstrate an ah, like what kind of ah should they try to do to try and experience some of that?
You see, this we do. This akar is normally we say this. Your finger should come in the mouth. Yeah, the mouth should that much open.
Okay.
Sometimes this is not because we are talking about not a. So this is wrong. When you say that much mouth should be open. Number one, and your teeth should be seen properly. So your larynx come open. You know, the upper trach comes out. And then you have to, this is pure, this kantha sound. This is coming from heart. So these are the techniques which you have to follow while akar practice, and do as much as long you can. As much as long you can means pull on your voice, and it should be at least, your akar should go at least 20 seconds. I'm talking about second, 20 seconds. So when you sing, you watch your stopwatch and put your stopwatch and see whether it is going. Otherwise, you push yourself to go over 20 seconds. So this this is, I will advise that this akar practice, maybe if you are doing kharaj practice, which is very good for 1 hour or 45 minutes, maybe half an hour. And otherwise, this long note practice, that's do at least 3, 4, 5 minutes, then re, 3, 4, 5 minutes. So to go from sa to sa, that will take at least 45, 40 minutes. So you have to do this practice. And another very important thing, that you have to practice only with the tanpura. No harmonium. You should not use harmonium while singing. You have to practice with tanpura only. That is the most important thing. Then you can realize, you can hear, you can, your perception about the sur will come properly. Otherwise, if you take the help of harmonium, you will never know the purity of note.
So your words have inspired many already to start maybe trying to practice. And we have a very dear friend from Switzerland, Eva Biate. And she's saying, yes, 20 seconds is possible. So she's enthusiastic to start trying.
Yes. 20 seconds is not a big thing. I'm telling you, the pranayam, who is doing pranayam, 20 seconds is nothing. Nothing. Yes. In our Gurukul, many students, they go over 1 minute. So 20 minutes is, yes, 20 minutes, 20 seconds is nothing. Yes.
Wow.
There was just another very important question up from Manisha ji. She's saying that when I listen to music, I get various emotions like happiness, sad feeling, cries, feeling secure, feeling connected. How do you explain this in terms of Nada Yoga?
These feelings, you know, the feelings is totally personal. Totally personal. If I am singing, even somebody is laughing, who doesn't know my, yes, I'm not joking. If somebody doesn't know Dhrupad and somebody doesn't know about classical music, what is this? What is doing? He will laugh. But if I am singing some raga or something, maybe somebody is crying. So this is the bhava and emotions are totally personal. Somebody may cry, somebody may laugh, somebody may think something else. So basic thing is, if you are in bhava, music has not take you up to the upper level, which is bhava shunya. You have to go there. इसका मतलब है कि हमारे गाने में कहीं ना कहीं कमी है कि हम आपको वहां नहीं ले जा पा रहे हैं, कि आप अभी भी भाव में उलझे हुए हैं, कि आपको रोना आ रहा है, कि आपको कुछ हंसी आ रही है, कि आपको कुछ हो रहा है.
Yes.
इसका मतलब है हम में कमी है. हमारा गाना ऐसा होना चाहिए कि हम वहां ले जाएं जहां आपका भाव खत्म हो जाए.
बहुत ही सुंदर, बहुत ही सुंदर बात.
Taraji, would you like to just say that?
So what Guruji just said is that emotions are completely subjective and different people have different responses, but you have to reach a point where there is no emotion, bhava shunya. You've gone beyond bhavas, you've gone beyond thoughts. So this state of thoughtlessness that Guruji spoke of, you have to reach there. And if you haven't reached there, he's saying it is a shortcoming of our music.
Yes.
That we haven't been able to take you there.
I was just thinking that when you're just speaking of this and sharing your own profound experiential understanding of what Nada Yoga can do, just listening to your words, we have got quite thoughtless, and we have being taken to a certain level. So if we listen to you, I don't know where we can reach directly. So thank you
Yes.
very much for that. Again, we could go on the whole night just listening to you. But we have to, you've been extremely generous by giving us this time. I'm sure in the middle of a very, very busy schedule. I'm sure the corona has not stopped your disciples, shishyas from all over trying to say, Guruji, हमको समय दीजिए. आप नहीं आ रहे, but हम आपके पास कैसे पहुंच सकते हैं?
हाँ, तो गुरुजी बहुत ऑनलाइन क्लासेस भी कर रहे हैं अभी. He's making sure that nobody is missing their lessons. And I just want to say a big thank you to Indica Yoga, and that you are doing a fantastic service to everybody by bringing such conversations and such ideas to people all over the world. And I really hope that you will be able to continue in this pursuit of getting the best of yoga and the best of wellness and well-being. I think it's something we all need very greatly at this moment, especially when we are faced with such challenges as we are now. I think this kind of grounding, as you said, actually in the last 1 hour 22 minutes, as I can see, I did not think about it at all. I was so fully concentrating on what Guruji was saying and the beauty of the music. So I think music is one way of facing whatever challenge. Hai na, Guruji?
Yes.
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 Yes, so thank you to Indica Yoga.
Thank you very much. So what I'll just do now is I will just announce the next day's program. And after that, I will come back to you if you have any other contact details that you would like to share. We've talked about the Drupad Sansthan. I've given them already the website. So there are so many questions. Please, I know in Corona times we can't travel so easily, but please find them. And the moment you get an opportunity, treat yourselves to the ambience, the beautiful atmosphere of the Drupad Sansthan, and get a lot of your questions answered directly in the Upanishadic style of sitting at the Guru's feet and just allowing their words to fill your being. So I think with these words, I will just make the announcements, and I'll come back to you again for a message from you.
मैं तो ये
गुरुजी मैं announcement करके I'll come back so that last में हम आपकी बातें सुन. So tomorrow we have a very special day coming up, and we've tried to build it around the theme of human unity, because we see in today's pandemic that, and also because of certain events that have happened, the George Floyd event and many events that are making us question our unity, our diversity and all those things. So we wanted to bring in the theme of the role of yoga for human unity. And we've tried to design a program for you tomorrow that will fill that in different ways. So in the morning, we have a practical session on yoga, a practice to discover unity by Rahila Sujata Santanamji. And Rahiji is a psychologist, yoga therapist, and wellness consultant. And she's also a storyteller and does many things. So I'll introduce her tomorrow to you again, but please do join along. It will be a practical session more in terms of visualization and meditation. And then in the afternoon, we have another beautiful talk by Soumya Ayerji, and you've already seen her on this program as a host. She's been very generous to host some programs also for us. So she will be doing a talk on giving wellness to the world's vulnerable through yoga. So she works with the handicapped, the physically challenged population, and tries to bring greater experience of wellness in their lives through yoga. She's the executive director of Prafulla Urja Charitable Foundation. And we will have in the evening a very special session by the GPIW, or the Global Peace Initiative of Women, a US-based organization which engages in a lot of peace dialogues across the world on various fronts with various kinds of groups. And they are collaborators on this program, and we've met them before as well. So the dialogue is going to be on human yoga and human unity, and it will be a 1.5 hour session. We have 4 speakers and a wonderful moderator. So Juan Pablo Restrepo, who's an acro-yoga teacher from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Our father Michael Holleran, a very amazing personality. He's a Catholic priest and a sensei. So he's done this marriage between Catholicism and Zen philosophy. And then we have Professor Suhail Umar, who is a professor of social sciences in the University of Punjab from Pakistan. So I have had the good fortune of knowing Suhail ji, and he's greatly been inspired by the Vedantic philosophy, and he has married that with Sufi thought, etc. So another beautiful dimension of human unity. And we will have with us Swamini Pramananda, who's a teacher of Vedanta. She's a world acclaimed teacher of Vedanta, who runs the Purna Vidya Ashrama. And this whole session will be beautifully moderated by Reverend Diane Burke, who is the founder of One Spirit Interfaith Seminary in the USA. So please join us on all these programs. Our sessions are invariably enriched by your presence, by your questions, which are always complemented also by, the speakers always appreciate the depth of your questioning as well. So stay with us and keep making us feel this delight of our collective journey on this festival. So with these few words, I'll come back to Makanji, Guruji, and request you for some words that you would like our audience, in some sound, some words, some music, whatever you would like to grace us and bless our audience with.
I would like to say that Nad Yoga is the need of today for mind and your physical health. And Nad Yoga and Dhrupad both are two sides of a coin. So if you want to do Nad Yoga and Dhrupad, you are welcome.
Thank you very much. Taraji, would you like to just share something for?
Yeah, so I would like to reinforce what Guruji has just said, that it is my personal experience that going into this immense ocean of sound through Dhrupad has been the most wonderful, most enjoyable journey. And we have, not just me, but we have about 40 people in our group, Sunad, and we have all experienced this joy, and there are many who are trying very hard to learn it seriously. And many of us have been to the Gurukul and enjoyed this whole experience of Dhrupad. So I would encourage people, even if you can just listen to Dhrupad through recordings and have it on for some part of the day, I think it will give you much solace and peace of mind, which I think we really need. As Guruji said, Nada Yoga is the need of the hour.
Thank you very much, Taraji. Guruji, can I like in Bengali, they have the saying of Abdari, like a younger person can ask their elders to, a wish of theirs. So can you leave us with a melody, please?
Laga bhai, laga. Sandhya Sanjivani, Sandhya Sanjivani, Sura Samadhi Rupini, सुरसमाधिरूपिणि गायत्री त्रिवर्गधात्री सावित्री त्रिलोकयात्री संध्या संजीवनी संध्या संजीवनी महामंत्र महायंत्र महातंत्रिणी महामंत्र महायंत्र महातंत्रिणी रहो यागा क्रमाराध्य रस्तार्पिणी ओम लम वं ह्रं ह्रीं यां संध्या संजीवनी संध्या संजीवनी सुरसमाधिरूपिणि सुरसमाधिरूपिणि गायत्री त्रिवर्गधात्री सावित्री त्रिलोकयात्री संध्या संजीवनी. Thank you.
Thank you very much for indulging my request. These talks are not just to be heard once, they're meant to be heard again and again. So please make the most of the recording that will be available on YouTube channel of Indica Yoga, on the indicayoga.com website, as well as on the Facebook page. Do listen to them, do share about them. We really need these gems to reach as many people as possible. So please play your part and add true sound to the world, of the world. So very much. Makan
Thank you.
Pranam on yoga, and thank you very much for allowing this, enabling this wonderful thing, facilitating it to happen.
Thank you.